If you enjoy anime, be sure to come on down for 31 days of anime over on Mystic Sage. Also follow our TikToks for daily Pokemon and anime content. Links for all of those will be below. Howdy everybody, and welcome back to the Best Type for Every Game series. Last time we were here, you guys got to experience what I call the Alola show, as Alakazam and a small group of friends invaded your screens and showcased themselves as the best psychic types for use in game. Well, this week, we're moving over to the ghost typing, and spoiler alert, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Those of you who asked for this typing in the last video, you already know. I hope you guys enjoyed the color purple, because you're in for a ton of it. But let's waste no more time and get into this thing. Let's start with Gengar, which is of course the only answer for red, blue, and yellow, because it's the only ghost type Pokemon. And you know what? It's the answer for gold, silver, and crystal too. Now, in the second generation, they added Misdreavus, but Gengar was still better than it. Now, here's the real problem. The ghost typing essentially was an afterthought in the original 2 generations. Like, for one, ghost types didn't even affect psychic types in the first gen. And thankfully, in Gen 2, that changed to being super effective. It was all changed, like I said. But here's the other issue that was not addressed for 3 generations. The ghost typing is physical. Now, for a Pokemon we'll talk about in a moment, that was completely fine. However, for Gengar, it was a real issue that rendered it essentially unusable for the first few generations. It could still use moves like Psychic, the Elemental Punches, and Thunderbolt across the 2 generations it appears in, but there were other Pokemon that offered that coverage in a better way, like Alakazam. It just wasn't fun to be a ghost type in the first 2 gens. So, as I just alluded to, there is a ghost type Pokemon that wasn't too hurt by the typing being physical, and that is the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald choice of Clops. It's got 130 defenses, which is definitely not what ghost types were known for leading into the gen. Now, the kicker here, Clops has 70 attack, which is a touch better than the attack stats Gengar and Misdreavus are working with. You know, at the very least, it doesn't have a special attack stat that overshadows the physical end like the other ones do. The other ghost type in the region was Baynet, with a massively good attack, base 115. But the issue here is its lack of move pool. When you use Clops, it'll have access to Earthquake, Rock Tomb, and even some deep moves like Rock Smash and Strength, which could possibly make moves in a playthrough. The point is that Clops can really do its job as an attacker, and that great defense plays well with it. You can argue Baynet if all you care about is the attack stat, but I won't let up on how good Clops can be. Hey, take a wild guess for what the Pokemon for Fire Red and Leaf Green is. Let's move on. Alright, so as we get in the Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, we finally got ourselves a physical and special split. That means the answer, being Gengar this time around, is a lot more deserving than it was before. Its base 130 special attack can bring the house down against tons of Pokemon, no doubt. The ease of getting a Gengar can't be understated either, as Gastly can be captured in the old Chateau, and by level 25, it'll evolve into Haunter and can be traded for Gengar, giving it to you relatively early into your gym challenges. It has access to Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Focus Blast via TM in these games, so it should be pretty easy to build a very competent and powerful moveset for your Gengar. It's the way to go here, and there really isn't an argument to be made for anything else. It's also the way to go in Heart Gold and Soul Silver as well, seeing as there aren't many other ghost types floating around in this Return to Johto. The TMs aren't really great in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but Gengar still is just the better of the very small pool of options in the region. Alright, as always, we have to move on to Black and White, which offers us only Univin Pokemon to choose from. This was one that had me doing some back and forth with myself before I finally came to a conclusion. The 2 choices here for me were Jellicent and Chandelure, a duo of pretty solid Pokemon to use in a playthrough. What my decision here hinged upon really came down to when a Pokemon is gotten, and thus how much you can get of using it in a playthrough. I considered plenty of ideas here, and came up with Chandelure as the winner of this battle. And not just for the first Univin games, but for the sequels as well. Essentially, to make it clear, you need Surf to get Frillish to begin with, which in both the games comes a little deeper into your game than you might think. You won't get Surf until you've defeated Skyla in Black and White, while in Black and White 2, you won't get it until just before your battle with her. Basically, that leaves you incapable of getting Frillish until you beat Skyla, which is 6 badges into the game. However, if you want a Litwick, you can capture that in Celestial Tower, and actually have it for your battle of Skyla. It's a slightly sooner capture, but it's worth having for that battle, as it can help with the Swoobat, and in the case of Black and White 2, the Skarmory. You'll be able to train up with your new Litwick until it evolves at level 41. And then by either going to Mistralton Cave or the Strange House, you'll get yourself a Duskstone and evolve it. So really, while both Chandelure and Jellicent are a bit later into the game, the access to Litwick just a little before Skyla really makes a difference. I think the one thing I'm definitely skimming over though, that seals the deal, is Chandelure's significantly better attack stat, and honestly, much better move pool that features access to Calm Mind. You can't go wrong using either one of these Pokemon in Unova, but I give the edge to Chandelure. Let me know what you think. So as we go into X and Y, we are faced with basically the easiest decision of the whole video. While in some games, it had to be Gengar simply because it was the only option. This time, it is picked above the rest of the Ghost Pokemon because of its Mega Evolution. It's possible to get it long before post-game in this region. And when you have it, man oh man. It's got base 170 special attack, 130 speed, never mind the fact that it loses Levitate, that doesn't even matter. It's just so stupidly powerful, it would be foolish to use any other ghost type. Its move pool grows to greater heights here too, with access to Dazzling Gleam, and it still has the greatest hits in there too. Don't even think about looking elsewhere. Mega Gengar is the wave here. Alright, move on to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I have an interesting conversation I want to have with you guys about this one. There are two Pokemon here that I think make the most sense as options, but it depends on what you care about more. There is no Gengar in these games, so that makes us have to discuss Clops and Banette. The only ghost types you could get sooner are Shedinja and Sableye. And for the latter, I didn't find it worth it since it can't Mega Evolve until extremely late in the game. So you are left with Banette, which can Mega Evolve, and that's tremendous. And Dusclops, which could evolve if you were actually able to get a Reaper Cloth before the post-game. So the answer should be pretty obvious. It has gotta be Banette and its Mega Evolution, right? Well, to me, it wasn't that easy, even if Banette is one of my favorite Pokemon. I mentioned earlier in the video that Dusclops' move pool was a bit more interesting than Banette's. I wouldn't say that's changed. Dusclops has access to all the elemental punches, Earthquake, Brick Break, and Rock Slide, just to name a few moves. Meanwhile, Mega Banette has a significantly better attack at base 165, but its move pool offers mostly special attacking moves, and Shadow Claw and Knockoff, and that's like it. Do you see what I'm saying here? Dusclops might not be fully evolved, but that just means it can hold the Eviolite to become even more impossible to take out, and then its plethora of coverage can come through and put on a show. It comes down to the same thing I spoke about earlier with Gen 3. You can either have Dusclops and its amazing defense and coverage, or you can use Banette for 2 moves only and through the roof attack. I can see merit in going either way, but I personally lean towards Dusclops. Alright, let's head back to Alola for all the Sun and Moon games, because the answer for them is Gengar. That's right, we're back on that Gengar grind. Who would have thought? You won't get a Ghastly or Haunter until you're visiting Memorial Hill. But that's a bit sooner than a lot of the other Ghost-type options in this game, with the exception of the Decidueye. The starter isn't a bad Ghost-type at all, but the reality is Gengar is stronger, and you can have it for longer, so it takes this spot. Its move pool remains mostly the same from X and Y, so you can continue to dominate a bunch of different Pokemon. And while its Mega Evolution isn't usable before post-game in either release of the Alola games, it doesn't matter, because you still lose Levitate on it anyway. That's a little bit of a detriment, as its poison typing can be targeted by ghost types now, but that ain't enough to knock Gengar off its very impressive throne. Hey, take a random guess for what the answer is for Let's Go. Come on, go ahead, guess. No, it isn't Cubone's dead mom, you evil commenter. Keep thinking. While you're trying to figure it out, we'll move on to Sword and Shield. So, by now, I'm sure you guys get the point. There is no better Ghost-type Pokemon that can be obtained through normal means than Gengar. You get some legendaries too late, or not at all, and no other normal ghost type even stacks up. It's simply too strong and too well equipped in the move pool department to be overshadowed, Mega or not. You can get a Ghastly in the wild area, you can train it up, you can trade for your Haunter, and it's a wrap. The new TR mechanic makes it super easy to build a dominant moveset, so you'll be equipped from the start. There is no DLC and base game choice for this one. It's all simply Gengar. I had enough respect for this thing already, but seeing how it's grabbed the Pokemon universe by the arm and twisted it with each and every new mechanic since its inception is really worth celebrating. So that's going to do it for another video in this series. Gengar was the Pokemon of the hour this time, and I know plenty of you were assuming that would be the case. Let me know what you think, and be ready for the next episode in this series, where things will definitely get a little darker and more hard to see. Hey, welcome to my new outro. A big thank you to everyone for watching the video. I want to give a huge thanks to my phenomenal team, and for the amazing art done each week by Danny the Demon. I couldn't do all this without them. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be sure to leave a comment too, it really helps us out. I have a brand new TikTok for Mystic Umbreon, and I've got a goal to get the 10k followers over there. If we can hit that goal, I'm going to pick a random video suggested to me by you guys and do it. So go over there and leave a follow. Also over on Mystic Sage in the month of July, I'll be uploading one video a day. We've got content from My Hero to Demon Slayer to Black Clover. So come over to check it out. And also check out Mystic Sage on TikTok. Finally, I've got an Amazon store where we sell tons of Pokemon and anime products. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I'll see you next time with some more amazing Pokemon content.